Do you know who High John the Conqueror is? Let's get into it.
High John the Conqueror, aka High John, John de Conquer, Jean de Conqueror, is one of the most powerful and enduring figures in Pan-African American folklore, spirituality, and resistance traditions. And yet his legacy is in danger because so many didn't pass it down. And we've been entrusted in the school system that don't care to because John got you. So my first intro to High John happened through the awesome Tristan Strong book series. I talk about it a lot. And I was blown away because I never knew about him. But he captures the spirit of the times and an ancient past kind of brilliantly. Here's the story. So many folklorists connect High John to West African trickster figures like Eshu Ebara, the Yoruba divine messenger and trickster, or Anansi the spider, another trickster deity from the Akan folklore which traveled widely in the diaspora, with the Yoruba, Fon, and related people groups having their own versions. Both spiritual beings who use cleverness to overcome powerful foes. So High John is basically a cultural survival of African deities and heroes carried through the Middle Passage. What many don't realize, as we're not properly taught, is how so many spiritual and cultural traces like mythologies, philosophies, gods, and heroes still carried into and across the Caribbean,
weakening the whole I'm not African argument.
But more on that later. Some scholars believe the Jean de Conquer figure was already circulating in Haiti during the 18th century and filtered into Louisiana and other parts of the American South. The Haitian Revolution, which went on from 1791 to 1804, amplified black liberation stories across the Americas, so it's very possible the tales of Jean de Conquer were shared alongside news of freedom fighters. High John's legend took strongest root among enslaved people in states like Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, and Carolina. Here, High John merged with hoodoo root work tradition and herbalism. More on that later. High John is described as a once prince who was sold into slavery. Despite his bondage, he retained an undefeatable spirit. Like African tricksters, he always outsmarts human traffickers, sheriffs, and other oppressors with laughter, wit, and supernatural strength. Like one story where the trafficker told him not to step foot off the plantation, so he got on a mule and stepped hoof off it. Another story where the trafficker gave him a bag with a hole and told him to fill it up, trying to get him to do more work. High John saw the hole, laughed, sewed it up, gave him the once filled up sack, chilled the rest of the day. When human trafficking was legalized for hundreds of years here, the people were burdened with endless labor and deep sorrow. Every day, the traffickers worked them hard, beat them down, and tried real hard to steal their jewelry. And when the people were most tired and ready to give up, the spirit of High John came among them. When given impossible orders, High John showed them how to twist that task back on the trafficker. When they were sorrowful, he made a joke so sharp it cut through despair. He laughed in the face of traffickers, so-called masters and sheriffs, and that laughter was contagious. The people began to carry it within them as a hidden strength, a secret that could not be whipped out of them. High John's presence reminded everybody, you may have my body, but you will never have my spirit. In Zora Neale Hurston's essay, High John de Conquer, she described him as the American laughter maker, who came to enslave people in their sorrows, making them laugh and remember that freedom was still possible. One day, when his work was done, High John told the people he was going back to Africa, but before he left, he made a promise. Whenever you are in deep trouble, whenever you are sorrowful, call on me. I will come back. My laughter, my wit, my undefeatable spirit will return to lift you up again. And so the story ends not with his capture or defeat, but with his immortality and spirit. To this day, people carry the High John root or call his name for luck, courage, and liberation because he's still out there, and more so within us, laughing at oppression and lifting hearts out sacred potency and victory. So today, let's big up High John, the power of joy and wit to preserve dignity under oppression, the enslaved prince who could not be broken, the trickster who always wins, the spirit in the root that carries luck and strength, and the laughter that kept people alive in bondage. And check out Kwame Mbali's unforgettable rendition of High John in the Tristan Strong series. More to come in the actual history of the United States.